Hi guys, welcome once again to Micro Homesteaders. And today I've got three inexpensive, we won't say cheap, but we've got three inexpensive watches that I accumulated at a weak point in my life when I saw something that I just felt like I had to have. Not necessary, but I felt like I had to have it. At any rate, I've got three watches that I hope you'll enjoy. Just let me share with you. And we might as well just get right to it. Okay, guys, so this is going to be just a kind of a show and tell by someone who's not really all that great at it, but I will give it my best effort. Of some watches that are basically kind of a low-end watch that I don't know. I've always thought in my mind that Invicta made as good a watch as you could get for the money. I know that there are those that will disagree, and I know of people that actually despise the name. However, some of us get along fairly well with these watches. They are generally, I say generally, and there are some expensive ones, but the ones that I've seen are somewhere around $200 to $400. This black one is an Invicta, and this one on the right is also an Invicta. The center one is a Renato, and that's kind of another story too, but similar. Let's go ahead and talk about this one right here first. It's a mechanical wind, and I thought this watch was, I don't know, I thought it was kind of neat when I bought it because it was a Chinese clone, basically, of an old Swiss Venus 175 movement. The Chinese company's name was Seagull, and they bought the machinery from the Swiss back in the 60s to make chronograph watches. So it's a mechanical chronograph. And there was a time when a mechanical chronograph would cost, I don't know, upwards to $1,000, I'm told. And I bought it just because I thought it was neat, and if something was to happen, you could not get batteries. A mechanical watch was going to work for you. So if I were to buy a mechanical watch today, it would probably be a Hamilton or a Marathon or something on that order. But I still think this is a cool watch. These big old watches do get heavy, though. It's got the exhibition back, and there's a lot of neat stuff to see. They're just highly decorative and a well-made watch as far as I can tell. In the time that I have worn it, it's kept really, really good time. And I don't know. Not a lot to say. Just to say that it is a big old heavy, bright, pretty mechanical watch, I think. So let's go to this black one. And it's it's probably a 48 millimeter watch, or maybe even a 50. I don't know. It's a great big thing. I bought it because I liked the military look. But there again, I would probably go with something a little smaller, a little lighter today. Don't know. I think this watch was just under $200 5 or 6 years ago. And again, it's one of those that you don't have to spend a lot of money for, but it gets a lot of looks. And it is a quartz chronograph. And again, a big old heavy watch. When you get used to wearing these things, you miss them when they're gone. So, there again, there's a lot more that you could say about this watch. And it's kind of neat. And those that are into these kind of watches, it's, if you haven't seen one, it's just kind of neat to look at them, I think. There are no stories behind any of these watches, really. Just things that I thought and felt that I had to have at a particular moment in time. So, a neat watch, I think. Now, this Renato is it's a kind of a special thing in that it's another big old heavy watch. But I think a lot of these watches from Renato have been sold on TV or in department stores and things like that. I suppose there are some in some jewelry shops. But this particular one has diamonds at the 12 and the 8. Chips, I'm sure. The cool part about this watch is that they are a respected company and have made some really, really fine watches over, I don't know, the past 20 to 30 years. But I liked and thought that it was pretty neat the way it has interchangeable wrist straps, or you can take this one off, and it came with, I think, a white and a blue. So as the seasons changed, you could do whatever you wanted to, but in most of the ones that I've seen that are made where you can switch the straps or what have you, you can really tell that they're made that way, that they just don't fit right. But this one does. And if you're not really a watch guy, you're not going to know that these decorative buttons on the end are what releases that. And it is a Trex. Quartz movement, but a Swiss movement. So I did like that part. And this watch sold for $200, right on the nose. It was $199.99. And with the extra straps and Renato name, just had to have it. So it is a big old heavy watch. But there again, if you get used to them, you miss them when they're gone. And that's about it for these. I hope at least a few of you enjoyed looking at these things, and you'll come back and check out maybe some more. I think I've got, I don't know, maybe a dozen more that are probably older, and some of you older guys may appreciate them more. But come back and see us. We'll see you in the next time on the next video for micro broadcasters. Yeah, micro homesteaders, let's call it that.